It's Kyle here. As I'm sure many of the viewers of this channel could guess, after last week I posted the book release party for Jackson Pearce's newest book, Fathomless. I'm sure most of you were anticipating this next video, a book review of Fathomless. Well, it's that time. Before I get started with the review, if you did get a chance to watch the book release party video posted for Fathomless yet, I strongly encourage you to check that out. I'll put the link in the description box below. Jackson Pearce is a very talented public speaker. She's very funny. And this book release party, she gave a lot of insight into her writing process, where she came up with the ideas for her books. Like I said, she's just a very funny, entertaining public speaker. So I'd strongly encourage you to check that video out. I'll also put links to all the other reviews I've done for Jackson Pearce's books, Sisters Red, sorry about that, and Sweetly. And I also recorded her book release party for Sweetly. So I'll put all those links in the description box below. I'd strongly encourage you to check out all my Jackson Pearce related content here on We Read Books. And with that out of the way, it's time to review Fathomless. First, let me say, this book is absolutely brilliant. It's by far my most favorite Jackson Pearce book. This is also maybe my favorite book I've read this year so far. It's just brilliant. Jackson Pearce is a very talented young author. Her first two books were amazing, but this book is so much better than the first two. She's making a lot of progress as a young author. You really tell she's growing, and I really think she's perfected her craft in a lot of ways in this book, Fathomless. It's absolutely brilliant. If you're not familiar with Jackson Pearce's work, in Sisters Red, Sweetly, and Fathomless, she bases the book loosely on fairy tales. So Sisters Red is based off Little Red Riding Hood, Sweetly is based off Hansel and Gretel, and Fathomless is based off The Little Mermaid. When I say very loosely, she's kind of using them as inspiration, but she's not necessarily following the plot of those fairy tales. She's coming up with her own original story. Also, these three books are not a series. They're more companion books. So the characters in each book don't necessarily appear in the next books, but, for example, if she establishes a rule in the book 1, that rule still applies in book 3. So these three books are existing in the same universe, and the characters in the three books are connected in some ways. You can read these as standalone books, but I'd strongly encourage you to read them in order, Sisters Red, Sweetly, then Fathomless, because I think you just get a little extra enjoyment out of them if you do read all three. But if you just choose to read one of them as a standalone novel, you'll still love it, and you really won't miss out on a whole lot. But like I said, I would encourage you to read all three. Now to Fathomless. Why do I love it so much? First off, it's very much a change up from her first two books. There's not as much action in the book, which right away that makes it sound like it's a little boring or slow. It's not. She just does a really great job of developing the characters, making you care about the characters. And she's very adept in this book at planting the seeds of some very mysterious plot elements. So you're trying to figure out what's going on between the characters, and she gives you a little hint there and a little hint there, and you're just trying to figure it out, and she's building up to, you know, there's going to be a ton of action at the end of the novel, and you can't wait to get there because she's been so good at dropping hints but not giving plot points away. She does a great job in this. So the basic plot of this book, like I said, is based on The Little Mermaid. There's really, I guess you could say, two main characters. First you have, let me make sure I get the names right because I'm horrible with the names. First you have Celia. I'm probably mispronouncing this, I apologize. Celia is one of three triplets, and the three triplets all have special gifts. Celia can, if she touches somebody, she instantly can see their past. She has another sister that when she touches somebody, she can see their present, and another sister when she touches them, she sees that person's future. So all three of the triplets have this special power, which definitely, as I'm sure you can guess, makes for very unique relationships among the three sisters. They have a little bit of trouble fitting in with the real world, so they all kind of develop their own coping mechanisms. Celia became a little bit of a loner. Her other two sisters have kind of used their powers to take advantage of unsuspecting boys to kind of con them into buying stuff for them, but they're all kind of struggling to find their way in the world with these unique powers. And nobody else knows they have them except the three sisters. The other main character is Lo. And Lo is this mysterious character this girl who actually lives in the ocean. When I mean lives in the ocean, she lives underwater. She is Fathomless' version of the Little Mermaid. And it's very mysterious how she ended up there. There's other girls like her in the ocean. They all kind of live together. but their memories are all very hazy. They barely remember how they came to the ocean. They remember they were real girls on Earth before they got to the ocean, but they can't really remember how they got to the ocean. They have vague memories of an angel bringing them to the ocean, and they have kind of these built-in myths and ideas that if they do certain things, they can win back their soul, but otherwise the angel will just come back to take them and basically take them to heaven. But because they have very fuzzy memories, you're not sure what's accurate, what's not. So the entire book you're trying to figure out, where do these girls come from? How did they become like this? Are there any hopes for them to reclaim their souls and get to live on Earth again, or are they always doomed to live underneath the water? Stuff like that. It's very fascinating. And I should say right here before I forget, Fathomless is based off Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, not the Disney movie The Little Mermaid. So there will be some plot points that, if you're not familiar with Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid, might confuse you a little bit, because that's what Jackson Pearce is writing about, not the Disney movie The Little Mermaid. So with that out of the way, as I mentioned, Lo can't really remember her past. And as you might remember, Celia, if she touches somebody, she can see somebody's past. So you see how these two characters, situations kind of interconnect and really lead to a very powerful relationship. The girls underwater, Lo included, don't think they can actually go on the land, but Lo figures out by experimentation, probably because she had to save a boy from drowning, that she can actually go onto the beach. But when she goes on the beach, she becomes an incredible amount of pain. She actually starts bleeding from her feet. And she can only stay out of the water for so long, so it really pains her to be out of water. But she happens to meet Celia. They start developing this relationship. Celia starts to explore Lo's past for her, and it starts to connect Lo to her life when she was a real girl on Earth. And that's where all the great stuff happens, and that's where I'll stop talking about the plot points, because if I go into too many details, I'll ruin the story for you. And I don't want to do this because, like I said, Fathomless is an absolutely amazing book. I strongly recommend you get it. Like I said, I think I will make that statement. It's my favorite book I've read this year so far in 2012. Great characters, great storyline. She does a great pacing with the book, great ending. Loved everything about it. I really can't find anything to complain about. So, like I said, I strongly encourage you to check out Fathomless by Jackson Pearce. Remember to check out all the other Jackson Pearce related videos that I'll link in the description box below. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you the next time.